Which apps should you be using to learn Portuguese in 2023? And don't say Duolingo. If you know, you know. Technology is constantly improving, prices are constantly changing, and new apps are popping up all the time. So in this video, I'm going to show you the apps that you should keep in your pocket to improve your Portuguese this year. For those who don't know me, my name is Liz and I'm a Portuguese teacher in Lisbon, helping people relocating to Portugal to build their confidence and conversation skills in Portuguese. So if that sounds like you, hit subscribe now. So let's start with something that I've never featured before that has become a firm favourite among my students, reverso contexto. In the last couple of years, artificial intelligence, or AI, has really improved, and that's the tech that this app runs on. You can translate text, pictures, and voice. So I can speak into the microphone and it will give me a translation. You can hopefully hear that the AI voice speaking to me is European Portuguese and not Brazilian, and that's because I could actually activate this and select it in the settings. I can point my phone to translate the text. You can see me using it here with a menu. It's not perfect, but it really will help when you are totally lost. Something else I love is being able to save flashcards. This is really cool if you are having a chat with your language learning partner or you're watching a movie and you want to remember some key phrases that you've learned. You can make a flashcard and test yourself on it later. The web version also has a really great feature for conjugating verbs and hearing them read by AI. Again, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good if you are learning alone. There is a free version. It will prompt you to a paid version immediately, but you can just X out of that in the top right. But if you do want to unlock extra features like offline learning and personalized learning, not to mention having no ads, you can pay $3.49 a month or get a 12-month plan for $26.49. I'm currently not sponsored by anyone to say that. In fact, I don't have partnerships with any of these guys, but my students find this useful, so I'm sharing it with you today. Do I prefer it to DeepL? Or I'm not sure. I think it feels a bit easier to use, but they do more or less the same thing. I've mentioned many times in my videos that I love DeepL because of its accuracy, but I do really like this added flashcard function in reverso contexto, so download them both and see what you think. Speaking of flashcards, I'm still a mega fan of Quizlet. Quizlet lets you make your own flashcard sets, so you can create themes like clothes or holiday or even verb conjugations. You can ask Quizlet to test you, or you can just play through your sets while you are washing up or taking a walk, so you can really commit them to memory. One bummer is that they have removed some of the features from the free version, so if you want to create your own audio or play a variety of games with your word sets, you will need the premium version. I'll put the price on the screen. But to use a ready-made set, it is totally free, and I make these a lot for my students and they love them. So I'm giving you access to one set for free today. Go to the link in my description to download my 100 most frequently used words in Portuguese. It comes with ready-made audio from a native speaker, not AI, and it will make learning your first words a breeze. Which apps do you love using? Comment below to help out your Portuguese learning community. I would love to know what's working for you. Next up, an old favourite with a new feature. Lyrics Training has rebranded as Lingoclip. I don't know why, I think the original name was much better, but this is the app that I recommend to all my students in the first module of my online course Portuguese Pro when we are training our pronunciation and our first listening, because it uses music to help you get familiar with listening to Portuguese and how it sounds. It pulls in popular songs from YouTube, and you can either use the karaoke mode where you simply see the lyrics playing on the screen, or you can fill in the gaps in the lyrics based on multiple choice answers. The new feature, which is great for people who really want to challenge themselves, is to write in the missing word yourself. Now, this is pretty tricky and you can choose your level based on where you're at, but it is really fun. Personally, I love using music to learn a language. I made a whole video about it here, about how to integrate music into your study and practice. So I'll link that in the description and you can check it out next. Let me know if you try this out and how you get on, and which songs are your favourite. Another new feature brought to us by AI is Membot. This is part of the app Memorize, which most of you know I recommend instead of Duolingo. Duolingo still only focuses on Brazilian Portuguese, so this is a similar gamified equivalent that you can do for a few minutes a day, but the pronunciation, grammar and vocab you will be learning is European Portuguese. More of the differences are in this video if you still aren't sure. Students love the app in general, particularly the Learning with Locals function, where you can hear native speakers say common phrases. The new feature, Membot, allows you to have a chat with an AI robot. They call it all of the practice and none of the pressure. Some of my students have tried this and found it to be a lot of fun. However, I still encourage you to find a real human to talk to instead. Sites like italki, Reddit, HelloTalk, these are all really good options. So you may need to try out a few people before you find someone you really like, but exchanging texts and voice notes is a really great way to get started before you work yourself up to a proper Zoom conversation. Notable mention also goes to Portuguese verb conjugator, which will help you conjugate verbs quickly when you are out and about, and Drops, which is purely for vocabulary, but very easy to use if you are just getting started. And don't forget, you can use entertainment apps like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, and watch European Portuguese content. I have a video on that here, and even Portuguese broadcasting stations themselves, like RTP, they have their own apps as well. The only kicker is not many of them have subtitles, but it's still a good idea to have these on your phone so you can immerse yourself in some Portuguese when you are on the go. So there you have it, my top picks for apps in 2023. If you're learning or improving your Portuguese, don't forget to grab my free flashcards of the 100 most frequent words used in Portuguese. And if you need to go deeper and get some structure to your Portuguese learning, I would love to have you at my free lesson for beginners. The link to register will also be in the description. I promise it will be the best, most effective hour you've ever spent learning Portuguese. I'll be back next week with more tips and tutorials to build your confidence and conversation skills. Ciao for now.